And somehow, some way,
I like how I get lag.
when I find this car,
Oh, yeah, no
I
lag.
will find you.
I like when I get lag.
And
Yeah,
I
it's
will
funny.
do absolutely
It's a Monday, Thursday night.
total coward.
I'm just watching TV and looking at stuff. That's all I'm doing.
With no luck finding the car for 2 days, I became desperate and went on a social media blitz. I created a Facebook page and
I don't do Facebook that much, but I do it once. I might be getting Facebook, guys. If I get it, you guys would want me to or not? I just want to know. Oh. If I do Facebook, guys, if I decide to get Facebook, I might only be on it maybe once a week. So if I get Facebook, I don't know.
So a local car guy has a collection of cars he includes deeply. He says most of his cars are fully insured, but the one the thief made off with is not. This rare Mercedes SUV was last seen here at the Quick Cleanup Detail Shop in East Wichita. A thief saw a crime of opportunity, stealing it without anyone noticing.
Walked in brazenly while sitting in the garage running while there's several men in the next room and drove off with it at the business in the middle of the day.
I don't know if I think I want Facebook or not. I'm not really sure. Ooh, KLKE News.
He's never had an issue at this detail shop until now.
Well, he actually called me up and he said, "Hey, did you come pick up your car?" I said, "No, I would have told you if I came and got it." He said, "Well, it's gone."
Hoover is a columnist for Auto Trader, but most people recognize him for his YouTube videos.
It's just pretty much about my cars and what I do.
I'm working on the opening, guys.
He recently made a video about the Mercedes before it was stolen. He says this model was one of the first hot rod Mercedes ever made. And what really distinguishes it is its brown color.
Sticks out anywhere it goes. Everybody sees it.
Wichita police are on the lookout, and so is Hoover.
I'm driving around at night, pointlessly just looking for it.
And he hopes it's in one piece.
Tips started coming, including one huge lead from a woman who saw the article on Kate's Facebook page, then this photo on a friend's Facebook account. She ID'd the man in the driver's seat of the vehicle and knew he had a history of car theft. She was willing to tag along with me and show me all of his hideouts, but the ML55 never materialized. The next morning, she went looking on her own and spotted it. It was being driven by another man, someone closely associated with the dummy photographed on Facebook. She called 911, but the thief sped away, leading police on a high-speed pursuit. I rushed to the scene to get the scoop.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Yeah, they basically, it was down over here and came out on OC up Broadway, went out across McLean.
Yeah.
All the way over to, we saw about Seneca, past Seneca, and then we lost the red lights. We had to stop the chase at that point.
Was he going pretty fast, too?
Yeah. We got up to probably about 60, 80 miles an hour in some places.
Wow. Okay. That's too dangerous to kill somebody, so. A few more tips came in that day, but then the trail went cold. Days passed without a sighting. And as I started settling back into my normal routine, I began to accept the fact that I may never see the ML55 again. Then, almost a week since it had been stolen, I finally got the phone call.
Hello?
I was told my car has been found. It was in a field, crashed into a tree row so it would be somewhat hidden. So they ditched it. Most likely I made the car so hot with
Good job.
looking for it that they dumped it. The officer said that it's stuck in the trees pretty good and has front end damage. I don't know how bad. I'm on my way right now to see, so hopefully it's not too bad. Howdy.
Two for $6 every day.
There goes the police. There goes the cops. And the guy is bypassing the cops. So that's gonna be funny. I'm not gonna.
That I've been seeing sprinkled around the Has-Been Hotel Ganem for quite some time now, and that theory is that Alistair, the radio demon, is a Wendigo. For those of you that may not be familiar with the legend of the Wendigo, here's all you really need to know. The Wendigo is a malevolent supernatural being from Algonquian folklore that is strongly associated with winter, famine, and starvation. The legend describes it as a giant with a heart of ice, with a deformed skeletal body with missing lips and toes. According to
Her
the
friend has no
legend,
toes,
the
so
Wendigo is created when a human resorts to cannibalism in order to survive and avoid starvation. There is also a mental condition known as Wendigo psychosis, which is probably fake. I don't know. Google can't seem to make up its mind on that one. But Wendigo psychosis is characterized by a deep craving for human flesh as food. According to some sources, you don't even need to eat human flesh in order to develop Wendigo psychosis. It can be brought on by the idea that if you eat human flesh, then that's all you'll ever crave. Montana, I'm fucking looking at you, since you apparently had the 70-year-old man making some awesome jerky out of his employees. An article that has actually turned out to be false. Don't worry, people, it's false. Back to Alistair. Let's
I love
just
Michigan.
take a step back and see
I'm not going to
more
Montana.
about
It's real. There's
Alistair
more.
thus far.
There's more Wolverines
You
in
know that
Montana
he
than there's
actually a
Michigan, but
former
Wolverine
D9
State.
is from New Orleans, Louisiana. He is a deer demon, which is proven by his fluffy ears and antlers, and the hoof prints that are engraved on the soles of his shoes. I'm mentioning this because if you search up images of the Wendigo online, most of what you'll see are pictures of these creatures with the head of a deer and other deer-like characteristics. Anyone that has seen the episode of Lost Tapes from Animal Planet about the Wendigo, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If any of you guys are fans of the game Until Dawn, the creatures that are in that game are also Wendigos, and are probably better representations of what this creature actually looks like. Now, from what I know, Alistair being a cannibal hasn't really been confirmed or denied. When a topic does appear, it seems like the term is used very, very loosely. For example, some theories suggest that Alistair resorted to killing and eating people after the stock market crash of 1929 as a means to survive. Other theories suggest that Alistair is a cannibal because he is a deer demon and enjoys eating venison, which to me would just make him someone who loves eating venison. No other rhyme or reason to it.
Michigan was
So,
just saying Michigan.
is Alistair
All people just like deer. I don't like deer at all. Period.
While there doesn't seem to be all that much information that is able to confirm or disprove this theory, my own answer is going to have to be no. And here's why. Yes, Alistair is a deer demon, and he may or may not be a cannibal, but as I mentioned earlier, Wendigos are associated with winter.
Michigan.
The main regions that Wendigos are typically known for being in are the more northern areas of Canada and the United States.
Michigan.
Namely, Nova Scotia, the east coast of Canada, and the Great Lakes region. The Wendigo
Michigan.
to the famine and starvation.
Wait, Wendigos I think are up north, upstate, way upstate, like the rabbit part of the state.
I'm willing to bet that Alistair, a Louisiana man, never saw a single bit of snow in his life, unless he was the type to take hunting trips up north or something like that. I'm not gonna say that Louisiana can't have Wendigos, but it feels very unlikely. It feels more likely that Alistair would actually be a skinwalker, another Native American legend from Navajo culture. And I know skinwalkers normally appear as large dogs or wolves without tails, but they have been known to take on the form of deer too, from a couple of stories that I have heard. And if it turns out that Alistair does not have a cute, fluffy deer tail, I will consider that theory confirmed. Anyways, guys, that's all for this video. Something different that I wanted to do for this channel. If you'd like me to turn this into a series, let me know in the comments on which theory you'd like me to tackle next that's been floating around the Has-Been Hotel fandom. And let me know what you think. Do you guys think Alistair's a Wendigo? Is there something that I missed? My name is Blue Raven 666, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, my name is Blue Raven 666, and today I'm going to be covering one of the more popular theories that's been circulating throughout the Has-Been Hotel fandom, and try to
Hello? Hello? BMG crash test.
Right now, America's seniors are living what should be their golden years inside. They can't travel,
Survivor dead.
can't spend time with their grandkids. They've earned the right to a peaceful retirement. They deserve a president who knows every moment is precious.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Neil, and welcome back to another episode of BeamNG Drive. We are here at the BeamNG Institute for Highway Safety because I wanted to do a part 2 or a sequel to my video called Old Car versus New Car Crash Test. If you haven't seen that video, by the way, highly suggested. I will leave a link in the description below. But anyway, in that video, I pretty much had a new car and an old car and smashed them together, and I kind of saw which one came out on top, and if this game would simulate new car structure crumple zones versus the old ones, and it did, and the new cars came out on top. I mean, they might not look as cool, but they will keep you alive in a crash way better. So on this video, I kind of wanted to do the same thing, only I don't want to crash them into each other. I just want to crash them into the end here, which is basically just a wall. Great for Smash, and one of the best. And I love this map so much. It's just so well lit and so professional. Anyway, we're going to start with the oldest of the old, and I believe the oldest car in the game still to this day is the Burnside. Well, you know, let's look around, see if we can find anything in the older, but I do believe that the Burnside Special is the oldest. Now, does it tell us what year it was made? Yeah, 1953 through 54. That is pretty old. That was a
60.
while ago.
If I could do this, I'd do the police cars.
Born, maybe the Satsuma? No, this was 58. Oh no, this is just a little bit newer, so we'll try that one next. But I think the Burnside is gonna be.
I do the police car version.
The grandpa of the BeamNG world. Where'd it go? I lost it. Oh, that is okay. So we're just gonna use the regular old version. So I believe that's probably the i6. I guess that's probably the oldest one. But we're gonna use the V8 version because we're gonna pretend that this is the high class version, the fast one, the sporty one.
Oh, the police car.
It probably doesn't care about safety as much. I think this is before seatbelts were even a thing.
Seatbelts were mandatory in the 60s.
Anyway, we're going to get this thing up to 60 miles an hour. If we can even get to 60 miles an hour. Because I'd like to try all these cars at a constant speed here. So about 60 miles an hour. There we go. Good. And here we go. Exactly 60 miles an hour. Into the wall. And as you can see,
You'd be dead. No, your pastures will be fine.
Actually, no, not as bad as I thought it would be. Let's check the inside, though.
Yep,
You're definitely, since there's no seatbelt, your face is probably gonna ricochet off the window, or you're gonna fly through the window if the steering wheel doesn't stop you. And if it does, that's probably gonna hurt. So really, 60 miles an hour straight into a wall, I'm probably gonna say that you are dead or critically injured. Probably you're not gonna have a good time either way. But we're gonna call that a death, just a straight up death. All right, so. I'm going to go in order of like years made. So I believe the next one made is probably the Satsuma 210. I know this is a mod, but it's a beautifully crafted mod.
and I think it fits right into the BeamNG world. So we're going to use this one, maybe the 1000 sedan. I guess this would be a good test car.
Hey, baby.
So, yeah, I think this is the second oldest car, and it it's the second oldest. This is from 58. The Burnside was from 53. So yeah, this is a pretty old car from Asia. So we get a little bit different perspective. Is this thing even going to be able to get to 60? I don't know. I don't even know if this thing will go 60, man. Uh-oh. Okay, 45. We're not even getting to break 50. Oh, wait, yeah, we are. So, like, 50. Okay, this is at 50 miles an hour. Oh. Hey, this little thing held together pretty well.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But,
I get it.
Run? No, it doesn't. Again, probably the same situation here. You're probably going to go face first into the windshield or get stuck on the wheel. So, yeah, you're probably dead. Let's actually see if we can get one to go over 60 miles an hour, though, just because.
50 miles an hour still, that's quite
I
fast.
want it to all be a constant speed here. So do we have like a fast version here? Sedan? No. 1200 sedan? Maybe that one will get up there. Let's just go down here to the fastest one. So not the drag one. That's a little bit too intense for me. Maybe the 1500 Deluxe. I feel like this one could probably get to 60 miles an hour. All right, Satsuma, I know you're not very fast, but I believe in you. There we go. Okay, so we should be able to get to 60 minutes. Like, oh, yeah, this is the speedster version. This is the Renault version. Anyway, there we go, 60 miles an hour. Why did I slow down already? I don't know. Okay, so about 60 miles an hour. Oh!
You're dead.
Okay, that was quite a bit worse. Oh, no.
Ooh, you're dead.
So basically, these old cars, since there's no seatbelt, I don't see any way that you can walk away from this. I mean, you're dead. You're going to go through the windshield or just get caught up in the steering wheel is going to impale you. So I really don't see any way that you're probably going to survive this. So that's another death. So chalk that up for 2 deaths here. So what's the next oldest car? You know, it might be the Herbie, but that's not really realistic. It can fix itself. It can do all this crazy stuff. So I'm not going to use that one in this video. But if you guys want to see that eventually, let me know. So I think the
60s or 70s.
oldest car is probably going to be one of the muscle cars. So maybe the Moonhawk. So this is from 1976. And what about the Barstow? That is 1969. So it's actually the Barstow is the next oldest, I believe. So we're going to use just a regular one. You know what? We'll use the fancy one, the Lux, because I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. I think this one would probably have the most safety features. Now I believe this might have a seatbelt. I guess when did seatbelts like really catch on to where they were like mandatory? They don't actually.
Late 60s.
Great in automotive history, but we're gonna assume that this one has one. Okay, so we are going way too fast. 60. There we go. Whoa! Folded this thing in half. Oh man, the steering. Oh no, it's in the worst place. Right at your crotch. That would suck. That would just completely suck. So I want to say that you might survive this one. Maybe if you have a seatbelt, but that steering wheel, man, this big wooden steering wheel, it turns into a weapon at those speeds. Let's do it once more.
Seatbelts were mandatory in cars by the mid-1960s.
So I think I was actually going somewhere around 65.
Seatbelts were mandatory in cars in the mid-60s.
There we go. Push it just a little bit. There we go. 60. And
Seatbelts were mandatory in the late 50s.
Goes straight down. Although there's enough holes in it.
Early
that I would
60s.
Kind of slide into it, but it's still going to hurt like heck. If it doesn't kill you, it's going to knock the wind out of you big time. Probably shatter some ribs.
Ford started putting seatbelts in the cars in 1956.
Another thing, this game doesn't have airbags yet, but this car obviously doesn't have one anyway.
Ford
So
put
it's probably
seatbelts in
not
cars
gonna
in
do much.
the
That's another thing, another
1956.
factor that goes into newer cars that is designed to help you live. So this car does not have that. So that's probably either critically injured or
Seatbelts.
death. All right, so the Moonhawk is a very
In
similar
1960,
type car, just a couple years older or newer. And I don't believe this one has a airbag either, so that's probably not going to be good. But maybe the crumple zone.
Airbags were mandatory in cars in the mid 1990s.
Impact of a 60-mile-an-hour crash straight into a wall a little bit better. But I guess we're just going to have to find out here. So come on. This is not a very fast version of this car, but it's like the baseline.
The first airbag was invented in 1955 by Ford Motor Company.
Oh, wow.
The Crown
That
Victoria.
was not actually that bad. I think, granted, getting a seatbelt on, you might be okay here. Again, the steering wheel. But the car took the hit pretty dang well. The front crumpled just like it should. So I'm going to say probably not dead on this. Although, take this with a grain of salt, guys. I'm not a doctor. I don't specialize in this stuff. If you do, and you want to tell me down below that they would definitely be dead and that I'm wrong, please do. I'd love to learn about this stuff. It's really interesting to me. Like, I don't know, I think it'd be a really fun job to just craft cars all day. I know there's more that goes into it than that, but if to work for the IIHS, I think that'd be kind of cool. Anybody out there work for them? Probably not, but that'd be cool. Show me your stories down below. Alrighty, so how about we try out
The hardest part about that job is the G's, of course.
That was an 81 through 88, so I actually had a pretty good life there.
Period.
Let's just use the 320, just the regular version, the stock version. Actually, no, that's the stock version. Probably this one, right?
Crash test dummies are made in
How much
Michigan.
does it say how much this thing went for? $75,000. Is that in 1981 dollars or now dollars? Because in 1981, what's that? Would it be like pushing 150,000 or something? Anyway, that's a super expensive car, but it's a classic. The classic Bolide. I love this thing. One of the original cars put in EVG drive, believe it or not. Anyway, this should have no problems getting to 60. Oh yeah, there we go. It's a very fast car, an 80s supercar basically. We're still gonna crash it at 60 here. Okay, push it a little bit. 60. There we go. Oh. See, this car is kind of legendarily robust. Again, the steering wheel goes straight into the crotch. But yeah, you're gonna have a hard time. But I don't think you'd be dead. Well, maybe in this car, since it's smaller, you might meet the pavement with your face a little bit easier. But yeah, I don't know if I could call that a death. Although this is a supercar, who's gonna be driving it?
Do a Volvo.
So let's crash test this at about an 80 to 100 and see how it fares. Because somebody gets a little bit crazy and crashes the new car. So we're gonna go 90 miles an hour here, straight into the wall. Now I imagine.
Do police cars, ambulances,
Yep, you dead.
fire engines,
Dead. And you think that engine would kind of come loose and just smack you in the back of the head too?
EMT,
Oh, that would be horrific. But yeah,
fire,
no engine. It's basically
tow trucks.
all crumple zone right there. So yeah, you 100%
Period.
dead, son. All right, so for the next one, I'm going to use a mod, but actually one of the best mods of all time. One of the most lovingly crafted mods of all time, and that's got to be the Oldsmobile Regency and the Caprice. Now I'm going to do one of these, just they're very similar. So let's just do the V8 base here, just a classic 80s car, I think. Or 80s or early 90s.
through the years.
Either way, we're going to test this thing out. And I imagine this probably has a seatbelt for sure. Not sure about the airbag, though. I don't think it has one. That steering wheel is pretty slow. Anyway, can we get it to 60? Just barely get to 60. Oh!
Lap belt. It's a lap belt.
See, I think that looked way worse than it actually was because it did crumple quite a bit and the steering wheel stayed put. So, as long as you have a seatbelt on, you don't crack your head in half on the steering wheel. I think you're probably going to be
Lap belt.
okay, but that crash looks horrific and it looks like it might catch on fire soon. So, we might want to get out of the car if you can, but I think you might be okay here. All right, so next up,
A pigeon.
I don't think this is going to go. I don't even know if one of these can get to 60, but we're going to try. So we're going to use the 600 version. That probably has the best chance. This is an 80s car built from 1982 to 89, and it cost a whole 1,700 buckaroonies. So very expensive. Anyway, let's see if we can get this thing to 60. Now I imagine that you're probably not going to be doing too well if you crash this thing going 60.
You're dead.
I imagine you're done for. So let's see if we can get this to 60. Oh yeah, we're gonna get this thing to 60. This is like the fast version of this car. Why you would buy this, I don't know. But let's get it down to 60. There we go. And we're gonna go head on into the wall here.
You survive it. You survive.
Wow. Looks like
The Pigeon's a 3-wheel truck, and trust me,
buff out those
you'll survive.
suction cup or something. But yeah, I mean,
You survive.
if you don't have just a massive concussion, you're probably dead. So that's not a car I would want to be in a crash with. But I guess I don't know. It didn't look that bad, honestly. Maybe you'd be okay. Alrighty, so cruising right on into the 90s here, we have the
Fuck.
iconic D series. This is the car you think of when you think of BeamNG Drive, obviously.
It's a GM.
So let's see how.
It's a GM or Ford truck.
Probably has a. Actually, it doesn't look like it would have a airbag. Actually, no.
Airbags weren't mandatory until the mid 1990s. Some cars don't even Some cars don't even have airbags. Period. Like certain sports cars, you can't have them. There's nowhere to put them. So yeah.
Wedding crashing takes on a whole new meaning.
Right now it's 1:30, guys. So yeah. Hey, baby. What's wrong? What's wrong, Whistle? Yeah, I'm just goofing off, guys.
Probably does anyway.
Hey, Whistle.
Oh God.
You be all right.
I think this probably has an airbag. So I think you're probably going to be okay. I mean, we've come a long way since the 90s, but we still had quite a few safety features. So I think we're probably
3 points. I mean, I think 3-point seatbelt came out, I don't know, when they made 80s. I'm not sure.
Held up pretty well. It's actually, I think I was actually going a little under.
I had it like, I remember our van was like 80s. I had this van, had no airbag. It was made in like 80s. The front seatbelts had 3-point seatbelts. The back seats still had lap belts, and people didn't understand how to wear them. Like there's this friend of mine who bought a van like mine, saying, "Where's the seatbelt at?" What do you mean? There's no seatbelts back here? Yes, there is. Lap belts.
I really do think that
Seatbelts were mandatory in all cars by the 80s.
I think you're probably going to be okay. Just
I told him, since you're not going to be, since the kids are in the front, you're going to be fine. The cop pulls you over, tell him this thing has seatbelts and it's legal.
Because it is old. It's from the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. So
Yeah.
You know what
He bought a Plymouth or he bought a Chrysler van in the late 90s. I think he bought one that was a year older than mine, but still, he was surprised how cheap they were. Bought his for like $300, and it ran good. They had a heater but no air conditioner, so I told him, "Hey, heater's good enough." And
definitely is something I want to see, or like a new bull light. That'd be kind of cool, like a modern supercar. I don't know what cars would you like to see in this game? Let me know down below. And while you're down there, by the way, why don't you hit that like button? Help me out. And next we have the Grand Marshal. Basically,
I think he'll come up and see if he still does videos. Period. Because I don't know if he does videos still.
Probably on the same level as the D series. I think we're probably going to be okay here. Just not feeling too well afterwards. Here we go. That crumple zone. Steering wheel straight into your stomach, but again, this definitely has a airbags galore, I imagine. So I think you're probably going to be okay in this thing. And most of the cars from now on, and the ones I test anyway, you're probably going to be okay in. At least if they have any sort of safety standard whatsoever, which I assume they do. Alrighty, so here's the first of the modern cars, the Sunburst. Lovely, lovely vehicle. Love this thing. I remember when they first added this thing, it was basically just a shell. It was still so fun to crash. Still one of my favorite cars. Not a very fast one, this one is, but. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're going to be fine. It has all the new safety features. Airbags probably all over the place. And really, the car crumpled exactly like you'd want it to. So, really, I mean, the thing with new cars, the wrecks look worse, but they actually are better. But it's just the car crumpling more to help you slow down in a crash. So, yeah, it looks terrible, but. Actually, it's really good for whoever was in it because they're probably going to walk away from this one. Maybe. I mean, they might not be feeling too well. Probably got the hair knocked out of them, but not really possible to get in an accident. Not good.
BMG cars versus real life cars. BMG's real life counterpart cars.
not gotta be. Is it like at least it's 60 miles an hour? I don't know. Alrighty, next bit, the K series, the latest and greatest, at least I imagine.
Pontiac or Vauxhall?
Sports cars, German sports cars. So I imagine this has all of the same new features.
I don't know what the car it is in.
So let's bring it down to 60. There we go. And head-on collision. Oh,
You survived that.
Look at that. It's a thing of beauty. The inside is basically untouched. So that doesn't show how far we've come. I mean, I know it's just a simulation, but still, it automatically flips on the hazards and everything. I didn't do that. Yeah, that is crazy good. You are probably going to walk away from that one. You're gonna be pissed because your $100,000 car's wrecked.
So
Yeah,
that may be a BMW then.
Not that
If it's
going.
German, it means it's supposed to be a
Alright, so
Beamer.
the last car on the lineup today, I believe, is the newest car on the roster. I mean, it is a mod, but it's a brand new car. A S Series, the ATK S Series, made from 2016 to the present. So I believe this is probably the latest and greatest as far as you can, the best you can get as far as protection and stuff like that. So I imagine this one's probably going to do pretty freaking well when we crash this thing head on into the wall at 60 miles an hour. So let's just do it. Let's just do it, ladies and gents. I feel like this thing's quick, but I imagine this thing's probably going to be pretty darn safe. And boom!
Yep.
Look at that. The inside barely moved. It's flawless in here. We might still be able to drive this car. The engine still starts. I mean, it's caught on something, but good God, it like barely.
Parking brakes on.
Back here. Flinch. It's just the front. That is crazy. So it's kind of cool that the mechanics of all these cars and the physics and stuff are all lined up with the years that they were supposedly made, which is really cool. And just goes to show how good this game is and what it does. Anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. If you'd like to see more videos like this where he's kind of crash test and we kind of chill and just crash cars, man, let me know down below. And make sure to subscribe if you're not already. Hit that notification bell so you know what
If I could do this game, I do it right now.
In the next one. See ya.
Hello? Hello? Yep, we did instantly.